So I just want to continue of what I left off from a previous video, and this is from February 12th, 1798. Congress passes the first fugitive slave law. Y'all, I wear bifocals and I don't know how to wear them, so me just fugitive slave law. The law gave the owner of his agent the right to bring the alleged fugitive before any magistrate of the country, city, or town incorporated in order to obtain a decision ordering the return of the fugitive to the state or territory from which he had escaped. 1794, Congress passed an act to prevent the fitting out of vessel in ports of United States engaged in supplying slaves to foreign countries. So, importing slaves to foreign countries, not the other way around. That's why I said, we got to stop this starting our history as slavery. It was way bigger than that. May 10th, 1800, it was made unlawful to be any way concerned of the transportation of slaves from foreign country to another. So they had to put into law, mind your business. What them countries got going on ain't got nothing to do with us. Mind your business. April 2nd, 1802, Georgia ceded to the Union her western territory. Words is important. Wow. That Mother Earth, her. A part of what is now Alabama and Mississippi. Congress accepted the territory with provisions that slavery was not to be prohibited therein. February 28th, 1803. Act passed by Congress that the federal government shall cooperate with such states as have already prohibited the importation of slaves by assisting the states to carry such laws into effect. I don't know if I'm talking loud or what. People walk past my car looking in. I could be talking loud. I don't know. March 2nd, 1807, Congress passed the act to prohibit the importation or bringing slaves into the United States or the territories therein after the 31st day, December 1808. 1810, Post Office Department organized. It was enacted that under the penalty of $50, no other than a free white person shall be employed to carry the mail in the United States, either as a post rider, driver, or a carriage carrying the mail. April 20th, 1818. Severe laws relating to the slave trade were enacted. I must be talking loud. March 3rd, 1819, the president was empowered to employ the Navy for the suppression of the slave trade. Also, the issue of necessary orders for transporting illegally imported Negroes back to Africa. Come on, this is in 1819. We all know in 2026, only 300 slaves came to America from Africa. And even in 1819, they want to send them ones back. So the ones here now, we definitely want to send them back. Former acts were authorized. Their enslavement by the state governments were repealed. Under this act, government aid was given to found the colony of Liberia in Africa. Interesting. March 6, 1820, Missouri Compromise, terms of which admitted Missouri as a slave state but forever prohibited slavery in all the rest of the Louisiana Territory lying north of latitude 3630 north. May 19, May 15th, 1820, the African slave trade was made piracy. Whatever. September 1850. Yeah, I'm going to read all that. September 18th, 1850, second fugitive slave law passed. The new feature of the law were that commissioners were provided for. The jurisdiction of concurrent with that of courts. There were to receive a large fee if they decided in favor of the claimant. That if they decided the favor of the fugitive. The testimony of the last slave was barred and he was denied a trial by jury. The enforcement of the law was placed wholly in the hands of the federal officials. This is like the stuff that we're still going through now. Look at the Carmelo Anthony trial. Perfect example. They was been doing this stuff since 1850. May 31st, 1854. Kansas-Nebraska bill. The act of Congress replaced of 1820 all questions pertaining to slavery in the territories and the new states to be formed, therefore, are to be left in the decision of the people residing therein by their appropriate representative to be chosen by them for that purpose. Interesting. May 6, 1857. Dred Scott decision handed down by the Supreme Court of the United States. Dred Scott, a slave in Missouri, had been in 1834 taken by his owner into Illinois, a state prohibiting slavery, and in 1836 into which is now Minnesota as part of the Louisiana Purchase, in which slavery was expressly prohibited by the Missouri Commission. In 1838, he was taken back to Missouri. In 1848, Scott sued for his freedom on the ground that though he resided in the territory where slavery was prohibited, he had lost his status as a slave and acquired that of a freeman. The Supreme Court of the United States decided that Scott was not a citizen of any state and therefore was not entitled to any standing in the courts. Also, that Congress had no power to prohibit a citizen of any state from carrying into territory slaves or any other properties, and the Congress has no power to impair the constitutional protection in such property while thus held in the territory. April 16, 1862, slavery was abolished in the District of Columbia. Interesting. That's why I said, like, these things that was put on a book, and I started at 1774 all the way up to 1802. We got to start looking way before slavery. To the next one. Like this video, share this video, let somebody else know what I'm talking about.